Binance is getting bigger and it's not a good thing. We also see the retail market of crypto expanding as a country now opens it up to more retail investors. And a settlement between Ripple Labs and the SEC doesn't seem too likely. Why? Because the Hinman emails, they're not as damning as they first appeared to all of us. There were a lot of people out there holding on to the Hinman email saying, hey, guess what? The SEC is going to want to settle because they don't want that to get public. John Deaton says, girlfriend, that doesn't apply. Let's go to the heat map. Bitcoin sitting at 16,696, ETH sitting at 1215, XRP sitting at 35.3, up 4.6%. It seems like some people are playing within the lines with XRP. None of the rallies are lasting, and the floor seems pretty strong. Playing within the lines is getting people 5% here and there. But first, Binance. Growth in Asia set to continue as Binance pushes for a South Korean exchange acquisition. Binance recently pulled out of South Korea saying, hey, low volume, competition, not much money to make there for us, regulatory concerns. To get around that, what did they do? They purchased a competitor, which means now we have more centralization in crypto of the top player out there. Binance, well, let's not say they took out FTX. I personally believe FTX took themselves out with their shenanigans. Binance just called them out publicly via Twitter. But Binance now is the biggest by far. And centralization in crypto is the worst thing that we could have because that's too many eggs in one basket. So Binance and CZ found a way to get around regulations by looking to acquire GoPax. And remember, as always, any article you see in this video will be linked in the description below. Hong Kong plans to widen trading to retail investors. Listen to this, everyone. Until recently, Hong Kong only allowed crypto trading for investors that were professional with over $1 million in bankable assets. They're now considering opening it up to a broader retail market. Maybe we're going to have more retail crypto adoption in 2023. That would be great news for us because that's telling us that the Hong Kong regulators out there saying, hey, we've got some rules in place that are protecting people. Maybe we could let more people get into the crypto space. My personal belief is the more regulations you have, the better it's going to be for people out there because so many people were burned in 2022 and it left a bad taste in traders' mouths across the globe. But now on to the Ripple versus SEC stuff. I know a lot of you out there were like, Klaus, the Hinman Docs. We're going to bend them over and we're going to screw them with the Hinman Docs. No, that's not going to happen, girlfriend. Ripple versus the SEC verdict likely as Hinman Docs are not so important, lawyers argue. This is coming from Deaton, and Deaton's the man in the know, representing over 75,000 XRP holders that believe the SEC has damaged their investment. This is from Deaton himself. According to the attorney, it may have been simply a statement that owning a quantity or an asset of a token is not enough to satisfy the common enterprise factor under the Howey, despite the SEC's assertion to the contrary. Since the emails and comments are probably not as damning to the SEC as originally believed, and thus would defeat its entire crypto regulatory strategy, Deaton believes a settlement is no longer the most likely outcome. And we know that Ripple Labs head Brad Garlinghouse says, hey, look, we'll settle if you deem XRP not a security. And we know Gary Gensler, he's dug in the sand, everyone. He's saying, it's a security, we're going after you, and then we're going to go after the rest of crypto once we prove this. So there is no way that you are going to see a settlement. It looks like we're either going to be going to summary judgment or we're going for verdict, baby. Looks like we're going to be in this for a long haul, which means more negative pressure on Ripple Labs through the medium of spending more money on lawyers to defend this case. Settlement would have ended it right there and just killed the costs, right? The accruing costs that we're seeing from the lawyers. But again, it's not going to happen. So these Hinman Docs, they don't seem to be as bad as they said. The reason Deaton is saying is he's saying, hey, look, all the stuff that we've seen filed lately regarding summary judgment, they haven't brought any of the Hinman stuff up. So if they're not bringing it up, it must not be too damning or too significant. And I think that's huge news. Why is it big news? Because that tells us right now, you're going to have the battle, everyone. You're going to have a full-on battle between Ripple Labs and the SEC, and the rest of the crypto world out there is watching closely because, man, if the SEC wins, we are all in deep trouble. But if Ripple Labs wins, well, we're going to pop the champagne and celebrate. So Binance and CZ getting bigger is actually not a good thing for the crypto community at all. Hong Kong opening up trading to more retail investors is actually a good thing because that means some of their regulations seem to be working. The Ripple Labs versus SEC case. Let's break it down and cover some of the big things out there. The SEC does not want to settle. Brad Garlinghouse will only settle if XRP is deemed not a security, but we know Gary Gensler and the SEC aren't going to go along with that. The Hinman Docs, well, they're not damning at all, so otherwise, guess what? They would be using them more in their summary judgment filings. Apparently, it seems that XRP itself wasn't even mentioned, and it was probably only ETH that was mentioned in those documents. So everyone out there hoping for the Hinman Docs to be something that we could bend them over a barrel with, gonna have to look for something else. I think this one is going the distance in Deaton, well, the man in the know representing 75,000 plus XRP holders, saying this one looks like it's gonna go the distance too, baby. And when things go the distance, who is the only winner? It's the lawyers. Ask Library what happened. Yep, they lost their case, but even if they won the case, they said, hey, we were done with legal fees. Legal fees just absolutely destroyed us. And remember, all the money that Ripple Labs spends on lawyers, which, by the way, their price tag right now is over $100 million. That's of right now. So as this case goes on, you got to tack more numbers onto that. We're going to be looking closer of upwards of $150 to $200 million to fight this case. That's $150 or $200 million that cannot go into development of more projects with Ripple Labs. That money goes to the lawyers, and the lawyers always win in every case. Just like those real estate agents out there always win too when they want you to knock the price of your house down by $20,000, $30,000. And their commissions only go down, I don't know what, 1,000 or 1,500. Now I'm going to keep paying attention to this story because this is hugely important for the entire crypto community. You might want to hit that subscribe button just in case you don't miss out on news that breaks because, hey, I'm always here to share it with you. Until that happens, these are the big dates in January that are going to affect crypto. We're talking CPI data, housing data, cash flow stuff. Yeah, lots of juicy stuff in that video. Until then, I'll catch you cool cats later.